So I recently finished both games in the AI the Somnium Files series, and I think they're good. I feel like both games are good examples of how characters can enhance a narrative. In my eyes, characters are one of the most vital elements for building engagement in stories. In each game, the various character stories intersect with the central narrative, creating a web of stories that's fascinating to untangle. Each of the game's different endings reveal new information about the central story, so it keeps on moving the main story forward while telling various other ones. This video serves as a recommendation to play the games, where I want to cover some of the character stories that stood out to me the most in the first game, as well as how they tie in with the main story. The game follows Kaname Date, an agent of Abyss, a police department that solves cases by exploring Somnia in a process known as thinking. Somnia are worlds constructed from people's dreams where their closely guarded secrets can be discovered. Strangely, Date remembers nothing prior to his 6 years at Abyss, as he has amnesia. Though during the events of the game, he may be approaching the truth of his past, as Date, along with his AI partner Aiba, who is in his prosthetic left eye, investigate the new Cyclops killings, a case where victims' left eyes are removed. The case bears a resemblance to the Cyclops killings from 6 years prior, around the same time Date lost his eye, and his memories. The case begins on a rainy Friday night in November. Police gather in the abandoned Bloom Park in Tokyo's restricted Kabasaki district. A corpse tied up on a merry-go-round horse was found with its left eye removed after an anonymous caller reported screaming from the park. Date arrives on the scene and meets up with Boss, the head of Abyss, to investigate, when suddenly, a banging noise comes from the merry-go-round column. Date finds a young girl inside, who he recognizes well, Mizuki Okiura, the daughter of the victim.
Mizuki!
Date rushes Mizuki to a hospital in response to the traumatic events she's been through. Her trauma leaves her with aphonia, the inability to speak. He's worried about Mizuki, as the two of them have lived together for the past 4 years. Her mother is Shoko Nadami, the victim, who married Renju Okiura, a friend of Date's. Their marriage wasn't a very happy one, ending in divorce, and leading Renju to request that Date take Mizuki in. Mizuki is a sharp-witted and outgoing young girl with a strong personality. She doesn't hesitate to say what's on her mind, even if it would be seen as rude. Her brutal honesty and level of maturity separate her from the average 12-year-old, though her impulsive, headstrong nature makes her true age apparent at times. While her maturity could be seen as a positive trait, it ends up isolating Mizuki, particularly at school, where she doesn't fit in among the more typical people her age. She gets along better with people older than her, though despite this, her relationship with Date isn't perfect. Date's work puts a wedge in their relationship. It often leaves Mizuki home alone and creates an awkward distance between the two. Despite everything, the two seem to have an unspoken understanding of each other. There may be distance between them, but Date genuinely cares for Mizuki. She wouldn't still be living with him otherwise. And while Mizuki may act coldly towards Date, you get the impression that she appreciates what he's done for her. She's far happier living with him than with her parents. As could be guessed from the divorce, Mizuki's upbringing with her parents was difficult. Renju was focused entirely on his work, leaving all the parental responsibilities in Shoko's hands, creating near constant conflict between her parents. Despite all the difficulty, she still felt a bond with her parent. A bond which, when shattered by Shoko's murder, caused extreme trauma. Date explores a world formed of Mizuki's trauma when he syncs with her to cure her aphonia. Mizuki's Somnium is a harsh and chaotic version of Bloom Park. A violent storm rages above, and at the centre of it all is the merry-go-round, locked away by a massive birdcage while it spins uncontrollably. By reassembling a torn-up photo of Mizuki and her family at the park, the birdcage disappears.
Mizuki must be having a hard time.
And after stopping the merry-go-round, Mizuki steps out from the column.
Mizuki.
In the real world, Mizuki can speak again, though her scars aren't fully healed. She's clearly on the verge of tears again when recalling the details of the crime scene. Mizuki went to Bloom Park at the request of a message from an unknown sender, where she found Shoko's body and saw someone watching her in the distance, so she hid in the column out of fear. The sender of the message is a likely suspect, but Mizuki refuses to say who it was. Investigation of Bloom Park suggests that the figure may have been Renju. His car was used to transport Shoko's body there. Additionally, Aiba also discovers the sender of the message and its contents.
There was a message sent at 8:05 last night. Does this sound familiar? Mizuki, Daddy got caught up in something serious. Please come to Bloom Park's merry-go-round right away. Daddy needs your help. Please do as I say.
This evidence makes Renju highly suspicious, so Date searches for him, and with Mizuki's help, he finds him.
Can't be. Renju!
The past 2 days have been incredibly difficult for Mizuki. Her family has been destroyed before her eyes, while she has no idea why. Boss gave some advice to Date the night before that's become even more apparent now.
Date, Mizuki needs you. Protect her.
With both of her parents gone, Date needs to step up as her guardian. She's going through something no kid should ever go through. Date, however, needs to focus on solving the case and can't remain with her, so he ultimately chooses the case over Mizuki. Luckily for him though, Mizuki solves this dilemma for him.
Mizuki!
Hey, watch out! Ice forward, stupid!
This time, her will is stronger. She's determined to find out who killed her parents and make things right, and so Date lets her tag along, despite his concerns for her safety. Over the next few days of investigation, there's an air of awkwardness between Date and Mizuki at first. She remains cagey and isn't receptive to Date's small talk, though the ice between them is gradually broken as circumstances cause her to open up more. At first, she opens up by reminiscing about the past with Date, bringing up the time he trained her to defend herself against bullies at school and helped her realise her own potential. Date discovered that Mizuki possessed seemingly superhuman strength, which she had no idea about.
First, close your eyes and concentrate.
Like this?
Exactly. Then, punch forward.
Hey!
Huh?
When told how strong she already was, and that she had nothing to worry about, it greatly boosted her confidence, and seemingly instilled a strong sense of justice in her, as Date later finds out that she broke all the bullies' front teeth when they tried bullying someone else. Eventually, as their trust deepens, Mizuki progresses to discussing memories of her parents. On the rare days her parents didn't fight, they'd take her to Bloom Park. One memory she particularly cherishes is when she rode the merry-go-round with Shoko. Renju watched from the outside as the two would wave to him while he tried to take pictures. Mizuki had avoided Bloom Park. She wanted to preserve the happy memories there and not risk replacing them. Bloom Park represented the only real happy memories she had of her family. Continuing on from that, she asks Date about family and offers her own thoughts.
Hey, Date. How do you define family?
Define it? You mean like being blood-related?
That would mean you and I could never be family. Well, I guess that's okay.
It's okay.
This is what I think. A family is a perfectly ordinary relationship in the most ordinary way.
Huh?
Like, you say, I'm home, and you get a welcome home back. Doing those ordinary things automatically, without even thinking about it, is what a family is. That's why maybe me and Mom and Daddy weren't able to be a family. Our whole lives, we never could be ordinary. Even if I tried my hardest to be normal, it would just be awkward. Eventually, I got tired of trying.
Her definition of family doesn't apply to her relationship with her parents, which ends up unearthing a deep feeling of guilt from within her.
I killed them.
What?
I killed Mom and Daddy. I was never a good girl. I didn't listen to Mom. I couldn't do ordinary things. That's why Mom hit me. And why Mom and Daddy didn't get along. And why they got divorced. Then Mom had to start working.
Shoko got involved in an investment fraud scheme to make money after quitting her job to raise Mizuki. The way Mizuki sees it, it's got her family involved with dangerous people and ultimately got them killed. Mizuki is distraught as she shares these feelings, but Date doesn't let her suffer alone. Date thinks back to why he first took in Mizuki. One night, he was out drinking with Shoko, and she started complaining about Mizuki and revealed that she'd been hitting her. Date was horrified to hear about this, but ultimately couldn't convince Shoko to see things from Mizuki's perspective, so he took it to Renju. Renju feels bad about the situation, but doesn't do much to intervene. He's too busy with work. Date is unafraid to speak his mind on the matter.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna say it. You two are both awful parents.
Shortly after, the divorce occurred, and Renju suggested that Date take Mizuki in. Knowing those details about Mizuki's family life, he assures her she's done nothing wrong.
Mizuki, you did nothing wrong. Don't blame yourself. It's not your fault. Not one single thing was your fault.
After Mizuki opens up like this, there's a deeper understanding between the two of them, and Mizuki's demeanour becomes much more relaxed and friendly around Date, such as when the two of them visit Ikume's shrine together. Previously, she didn't want to do anything with Date, but she's now having more fun and wants to go make a wish at the shrine with him.
Hey, since we're here, let's go into the shrine.
I told you, I don't believe in that stuff.
Come on, come on!
Date is reluctant at first. He only came to the shrine for some peace and quiet to think about the case, but he goes along with it, although still reluctantly.
What did you ask for?
To leave this boring place as soon as possible.
Still, the two seem to enjoy their time together. Although the circumstances are far from perfect, the case ends up bringing Date and Mizuki closer to each other than ever before. And alongside their relationship, the case itself also makes significant progress. The night after Renju is killed, Mizuki's friends, Iris and Ota, get dragged into the case when Iris's attempted murder is streamed live online by the killer wearing a polar bear costume. Fortunately, Ota ends up saving Iris, but gets stabbed in the stomach. Syncing with Ota reveals that the killer's leg was badly wounded in their fight with Ota. Date realises that the bloodstain at the crime scene contains the killer's blood, and orders for the DNA analysis to be completed as quickly as possible. It matches a sample of So Sojima's DNA, who Date met when investigating Shoko's connections to the Kumakura Yakuza gang. So is an influential and highly wealthy politician, though Date doesn't know much about him besides that. Date gets ready to head straight to So's home and make the arrest, but he's stopped by Boss. So knows some sort of police secret that he's blackmailing them with. Orders have come from the very top of the organisation to leave So alone. Date doesn't let that stop him though, and still heads for So's mansion. He drives there as fast as he can, but changes course when he receives a video showing that Mizuki had been tied up at their home. So threatened Mizuki to get Date to back off, but Date still refuses to give up. He tells Mizuki and brings her along as backup. He knows how much this means to her and can't leave her behind now. At the mansion, Date and Mizuki quickly get to work fighting through a small army of bodyguards. Mizuki rushes ahead while Date is still occupied out in the garden. Once all the bodyguards are down, Date learns that she's already inside the mansion, where she got caught by So and held at gunpoint. With Iba's help, he's able to catch So off guard and free Mizuki, but So isn't down just yet.
Mizuki, move!
What?
Damn it.
Pathetic. Killed by your own father. By the way, do you like fireworks? Let me show you the most beautiful firework you'll ever see. But don't blink. It'll only be a flash.
How do you like these fireworks?
What?
I just want to go to the cabaret club.
What? What? What did you say? Hey, quit fooling around. Come on. Date, get up. Hey. Hey. Date. Date. Date!
I know even the best of us can be taken out of commission by a simple cold, but I always thought Date was above that somehow. Like a hero.
A hero?
Heroes are supposed to be invincible. Even if the odds are stacked against them, something miraculous happens to save them. That's what I thought would happen to Date. But instead, here he is.
You make it sound like he's dead.
Right, sorry.
The bullet hit Iba, which stopped it from passing into Date's brain, and the surgery to remove it was successful. In addition to that, Date won't face any repercussions for disobeying orders and going to arrest So, now that he's dead and can no longer blackmail the police department. It should be a good outcome. Everything was resolved, and yet Date isn't waking up. Boss has a theory as to why, but gets called out of the room before she can elaborate.
How can he find his way back again?
Only one way I can think of. Maybe...
Paging Ms. Shizue Kuranushi. Shizue Kuranushi. Please come to the nurses' station.
Looks like I gotta go. I'll be back as soon as I can.
What?
While I'm gone, keep talking to Date, okay?
I prayed at the shrine. I prayed that you wouldn't get hurt, but...
Do you want to save Date?
Yes.
Then I'll finish my thought from earlier.
Someone needs to sync with Date and bring him back. Date and Mizuki had a very high sync compatibility with each other when Date synced with Mizuki a few days ago. So Boss asks Mizuki to be the one who brings Date back. A person's somnium reflects their current state of mind, just as dreams are influenced by reality. Syncing with Date reveals the truth of his feelings. His somnium depicts his own home, and as Mizuki quickly realizes, everything that occurs within it relates back to her. Throughout everything, Date's thoughts are only of Mizuki. As Mizuki relives her memories with Date, his mind is reliving them alongside her, bringing him back to where he belongs. There are many memories, happy ones, sad ones, even ones where they argue. But throughout them, Date always cares for Mizuki. The final memory Mizuki sees is recent, the memory of the wishes they made at the shrine.
I wish that Mizuki grows up healthy and happy.
What did you ask for?
To leave this boring place as soon as possible.
Date. Date? Daddy. Mom.
After reliving his memories, Mizuki finds herself in the deepest depths of Date's Somnium, hidden beneath all of the memories he cherishes.
Date, wake up! Everyone is worried about you!
You shouldn't come to me. Go be with your parents.
What?
Mizuki was unaware, but Date is filled with doubt in his abilities as a guardian, believing that Mizuki is better off with someone else.
Date, please, wake up!
I am not what you need.
Hey! Date! It has to be you, Date! If you weren't here, I'd... Get up, Date! I need you!
Mizuki. Thank you, Mizuki. What the? How did I get here?
Date!
Hey, why the sudden affection?
Because You're so stupid!
Huh?
You're so stupid! I just want to punch you! Welcome back. Welcome home, Date.
Yeah. I'm home.
At a later date, the two visit the shrine again. The new Cyclops killings are officially solved. No more crimes occurred after So's death, though his motives remain a complete mystery. Regardless of the loose threads, Date is just glad to have stopped So and kept Mizuki safe. After Date offers his thanks at the shrine, the two set out. With that, the Mizuki route ends and redirects the player back to the chapter select to explore different branches of the story flowchart. Following on from the theme of family and Mizuki's route, the Ota route tells the story of the Matsushita family. Date meets the Matsushita family the day after Shoko's corpse was found. Aiba determines the identity of the anonymous caller who reported screaming from Bloom Park on the night of the crime. It was Ota Matsushita. The Matsushitas are a family of three. There's Ota, his mother Mayumi, and his father Takaro. Mayumi and Takaro run the Matsushita diner together. Mayumi is a kind-hearted mother who cares deeply for her family and is especially dedicated to her son. Working at the diner, she uses an apron and a kitchen knife that both have floral designs, and the knife even has a message engraved into it.
Mom, I love you always.
They were Mother's Day gifts. The apron was from Takaro and the knife was from Ota. Although she loves her son, as is clear from how she cherishes the gift he gave her, she's been concerned about his recent behaviour, believing that a so-called witch is scamming Ota out of his money. Ota is a 24-year-old NEET who spends his time frequenting places like Akihabara and Renju's businesses, the Lemniscate Talent Agency and the maid cafe Sunfish Pocket. Ota doesn't leave a good first impression. He refuses to cooperate with Date and only talks when he's blackmailed with information discovered by Aiba. Ota is smitten with a girl named Iris, one of the talents at Lemniscate and the witch that Mayumi speaks about. She goes by the name Aset, or Tessa, on her live streams. Ota regularly defends Iris online, but Aiba reveals that the people he argues with are his own alternate accounts and he's just trying to look good in front of Iris. Put simply, Date finds Ota pathetic. But this discovery does help him get information from Ota. Ota is a friend of Mizuki's. Mizuki spends a lot of time at Lemniscate since it's her father's business, which resulted in her befriending Iris. And so Ota eventually met Mizuki through Iris. Ota is an aspiring light novel author, and he has Mizuki proofread his work, saying that she's surprisingly insightful for her age. Ota was at Bloom Park the previous night, accompanying Mizuki at her request, since she was too scared to go alone. When the two of them found the corpse, he got scared and ran away, leaving Mizuki behind. While he ran, he ended up dropping his phone into a puddle and breaking it, so he reported the situation from a payphone.
Jeez, you're a real hero, kid.
As for Takaro, he always seems to be away whenever Date visits the diner, and strangely, Mayumi doesn't seem entirely sure where he's gone either, simply guessing that he slipped out to buy ingredients. From how Mayumi speaks about him, it seems that Takaro is also strongly dedicated to his family and running the diner. Mayumi and Takaro have been running the Matsushita diner for over 30 years. After taking out loans, they opened the diner near the now restricted Kabasaki district. Visitors to Bloom Park often ate at the diner, bringing in a lot of business, but that stopped after Kabasaki was restricted following a chemical plant explosion in the area. Losing customers affected the diner badly, as is apparent from how empty it is every time Date goes there. Now even Ota is hardly seen there because of his infatuation with Iris, an infatuation that gets him involved in the case. Following Renju's death, Date finds out that Ota saw Iris and Renju leaving the crime scene a few hours before the murder occurred. Ota is fiercely protective of Iris and insists that she would never murder anyone.
Tessa is a savior to me. The Tessa I know wouldn't hurt anyone. The first time I met her, I had a bad case of writer's block, and I saw all this awful negativity online, and I lost sight of what I really wanted to write. It was the lowest point of my life. Then, by pure chance, I found a video of Tessa singing and dancing, and it made me realize something important. You don't have to care what people think, you know? If you do your best at what you believe in, your message will get through to people. That attitude is something all great creators need to have. After that, I became a huge ASET fan and got over my writer's block.
Still, Date can't just ignore a potential suspect, so he brings Iris in for questioning at HQ. In questioning, Date realises that Iris could very well have murdered Renju based on the evidence at the crime scene. The combined weight of her, Renju, and the oil drum thought to be used to transport the body matches the elevator records from the night of the crime. Questioning is halted when Iba notices Iris acting strangely.
Shit! Iris, what are you thinking? What is that thing?
Confiscating her phone reveals a message from Ota that only makes her seem more suspicious. Date syncs with her to find out the truth. Iris's Somnium is a far cry from what one would expect from her. It's dark and disturbing, and violence is a constant theme throughout. Date finds out nothing about that thing that Ota referred to, and instead he just sees this? Date ends up calling Ota after the sing to ask about his message, but Ota tries to strike a deal. He'll only tell Date if he releases Iris and brings her to him. With no other leads to go off of, Date reluctantly releases Iris and brings her to the Matsushita diner. Ota doesn't make good on his end of the deal though. Date wakes up early the next day, which is when he witnesses the attempted murder of Iris. Date arrives at the scene in time for Iris and Ota to be brought to the hospital and saved. In the morning, Date checks on Mayumi, hearing that she's preparing things to bring to the hospital for Ota. He finds her looking at a family photo, reminiscing about Ota as a child and how he used to collect Odoroki Man brand chocolates and the stickers that came with them. She's behaving strangely. She seems unaware of Ota being in hospital. And when the conversation turns to Takaro, Iba reveals the truth.
He died of myocardial infarction 5 years ago.
A thermal scan of Mayumi's brain indicates she has dementia, and she even seems unaware that the diner has been closed for 8 years following the Kabasaki chemical plant explosion. Unsure about how to navigate the situation, given her condition, Date leaves Mayumi and further investigates the case. Investigating the crime scene and questioning Ota in the hospital paints a clearer picture of the crime. Ota left the diner with Iris in the Matsushita family's van. He stopped off at a convenience store and left her in the van, and then suddenly heard her screaming and saw the van drive away. He stole a car and pursued the van, lost it temporarily, and then ended up at the warehouse, where he fought the killer and ended up getting stabbed. There were no fingerprints on the steering wheel of the Matsushita van besides Ota's, but Iba suggests that Iris could have covered her fingerprints with her sleeves and driven away. That thing that Ota was referring to was him seeing Iris driving Renju's car without a license, which he was hiding to avoid Iris getting caught up in a scandal and harming her career. It's not clear what she was doing when she drove Renju's car on the night of his death, but it makes it seem possible that she may have also driven the Matsushita family's van for unknown reasons. At the warehouse, Date also found a packet of Odoroki Man chocolate in a dark corner. It had Mayumi's fingerprints on it, though because of her dementia, it's difficult to get a reliable account of events from her. Date syncs with Ota to learn more about last night. As I mentioned before, Ota's Somnium is where the story diverges. In the Mizuki route, Date unearths the memory of the killer's leg being injured. In the Ota route, he instead discovers a different memory. Ota wasn't stabbed with any ordinary knife.
There!
In questioning, Ota insists that Mayumi can't be the killer, though the Odoroki Man chocolate with her fingerprints on it suggests that she was at least at the crime scene at some point. Date also believes it's unlikely that she's the killer, but regardless, he goes to speak to her.
Sorry for the late night, Miss Matsushita, but I have some questions I need to ask you. Could you spare some time?
I finally remembered about the warehouse. I did it. I did everything.
The next morning, Date questions Mayumi. She insists that she kidnapped and attempted to kill Iris, saying that she wanted to punish her for what she's doing to Ota. She also confesses to the other murders, but her motivations seem very unconvincing. Besides that, she also can't provide a reliable account of how she supposedly set up the livestream. It seems like she's trying to protect someone with a false confession, most likely Ota. Ota can't be ruled out as a suspect, since he was never seen on camera at the same time as the killer during the livestream. Mayumi may not be the killer, but she was still at the crime scene, so Boss gets Date to sync with her. Though it turns out the machine is acting up after Date synced with Ota, because of issues caused by their low compatibility, so Date has to wait before he can perform the sync. In the meantime, he visits Ota to ask him some more questions.
Ota? Why are you...
Why did you arrest Mom? You said you were gonna clear her! Why?
It's there that Date hears the story of Takero's passing and Mayumi's condition from Ota. When the diner closed down, his parents both got new jobs to pay off the loans on the diner, not wanting to lose their home and all of their memories there. They were working themselves to their limits, but their debt only kept getting worse, since they would still buy anything Ota wanted. Ota thought it was perfectly normal for both of his parents to be working so much, and did nothing to help out. With their help, Ota got into a good university, but shortly after, Takero passed away. He had a heart attack from overwork, and yet Ota still didn't get how hard they'd been working. Mayumi remained completely supportive of Ota, even when he was getting bad grades, and eventually dropped out of university to focus on writing light novels.
I decided that I'm going to become a writer.
Wow, a writer. Oh, that's a good goal to have. But you really should finish college. You worked so hard to get in.
You don't understand, Mom. A writer has to put all of their time into their creativity. I won't have time to go to classes. Plus, I'm friends with the editor of a publishing company. I'm definitely going to have my first book published.
Is that right? Well, Ota, if you say so, I won't stop you. Do what makes you happy. You'll turn out just fine. I know you can do it. And no matter what happens, Mom will always be on your side, okay? Forever and ever. I'll always support you, Ota.
Yeah, how'd you guess? It was really just a few texts back and forth, but I was thrilled. I thought I could make it as a writer because of that. But it's impossible. I know there's no way I can be a writer. I've never even finished writing a novel. Not even once. I always give up after the first 5,000 words. To even apply for the amateurs contest, you have to submit 10 times that. But Mom, she kept supporting me.
It was then that the symptoms of her dementia arose.
Mom was always smiling at me. But I think she was starting to slip mentally. One day.
Oh, what's wrong, Ota? Do you have the day off from school?
Are you being sarcastic?
Oh, right. You don't attend anymore. Oopsie, I totally forgot.
How can you forget your own son's career choice?
Sorry. Anyway, are you hungry? You haven't eaten anything since this morning, have you?
Are you kidding?
What?
I ate breakfast and lunch already.
Oh, did you? By the way, Ota, what's living at the dorms like?
Why are you making fun of me?
I'm not teasing you, honey.
Don't fuck with me! Mom got sick because I'm such a piece of shit. I was only thinking about myself. I didn't take care of her. It was so stupid. I didn't realize she was sick. I thought she was messing with me. I was so cruel to her for no reason. And she got worse and worse.
What's that picture?
Looking at this photo reminds me, one time when I was a kid, I said something really bad to Mom and Dad, and they scolded me for it. And it's not like it was an apology or anything, but Dad and I gave her a Mother's Day gift. My mom was so happy that she cried. That's what this photo is from. Why did it turn out like this? I'm such a bad son.
Hey, Iba.
What is it?
I don't like Ota one bit, but I can't imagine that this guy's the criminal.
Why is that?
Hearing his story made me think that he's not such a bad guy.
Your presumption is illogical.
Human beings are illogical. We're not like you AI. We can't be logical all the time. But we make up for it in one very important way.
What is that?
Intuition.
Do you find that useful?
At times. Iba, let's go back to the cold storage warehouse. We might be missing something.
Understood.
With Iba's help, Date discovers that Mayumi had a taxi driver tail the Matsushita family's van on the night of the crime. When Ota stopped at a convenience store, the taxi stopped at another one nearby, where Mayumi bought the chocolate that was later found at the warehouse. The van stopped at the Tsujima residence, then an unknown location in Kabasaki, and then finally at the harbour, where Mayumi got out of the taxi and headed for the warehouses. Hearing that the van stopped at the Tsujima residence, Date goes there to question So about what he knows, but the place is empty.
Hey, Iba, do you smell something funny?
You are aware that I do not possess the sense of smell, correct?
Oh, right. There's something strange about this vase. Ugh.
What is it?
This is definitely where the smell is coming from.
Is there something inside?
Maybe, but the opening is covered by a metal plate.
The lid is fixed with a bolt. It will not open easily.
Yeah.
Then, as is standard procedure...
What the?
Date, destroy the vase!
Got it. Tsujima?
That is the head of Tsujima.
The left eye is hollowed out.
This is most likely a crime committed by the new Cyclops killer.
Do you have an estimated time of death?
Today, sometime between 11 a.m. and noon. Date, a call from Pewter.
Connect me.
Date, the sync machine is up and running.
Now that the sync machine is operational again, Date gets called back to HQ and prepares for the sync.
Where am I?
Where is this? Oh, silly me. This is my house. Huh? What happened to me?
This is Matsushita Diner, though it looks odd. Likely an effect of the dementia.
Then we need to help remind her.
Do you think such a thing can be done?
This diner means everything to Mayumi. If we do what we did last time and reproduce the actions from Mayumi's memories, we could help her remember everything.
Is this what you call your intuition?
Told you it was useful.
Well, if we must.
Mayumi's Somnium depicts several significant memories that are slipping away from her. With each one, time moves backwards to a prior memory. First, she recalls welcoming Ota home.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Ota. You're late today.
I'm home.
Are you not hungry? Today's dinner is omelet rice. Your favorite. Dad isn't back yet, but you can start eating.
Again? I'm okay. I ate already.
But,
I'm fine.
Ota, wait. Ota?
And then she recalls the moment where she first heard about her husband's death.
My husband?
Yes, Matsushita Diner. Yes. Well, yes. Yes. What? My husband! Why? How could this happen?
These memories aren't all happy, but they are all significant.
If this continues, will it not have a negative effect on Mayumi?
Maybe. But we have to see this through. We have to.
Understood.
Next, Date finds the memory of Ota's parents celebrating his admittance into university.
Congratulations, Ota!
I'm home.
Ota! Congratulations on getting into the university, son! Congratulations!
Hooray! Congrats!
The next memory Date discovers is Mayumi stressing over the family's debt, where Takaro encourages her.
Let's do our best.
We have to keep supporting Ota.
Okay. We'll work harder for Ota's dream.
Things culminate in the memory of what Ota described, when he got angry at Mayumi as a child. She bought the wrong chocolate for him, sending him into a tantrum.
Do you mean chocolate?
Yeah, Todoroki man, remember? Oh, that. Yes, of course I bought it. Look, the Momonoke Man chocolate that you like. Here you go. That's not it. Oh, honey, I thought you liked the Momonoke Man chocolate.
No, I told you. It's Todoroki man.
Oh, sorry. Your mom can be such a dummy sometimes.
You're not just a dummy, you're a super dummy idiot.
Oh, well, you're right, sweetie. I'm sorry. I'm a big dummy. I'll buy you a real Momonoke Man soon.
Stupid. It's not Momonoke man, it's Todoroki man. I hate this. I hate you, Mom.
What? Wait, Ota! Where did you go? Please, come out from hiding, Ota. Ota, I'm sorry. Mommy won't make any mistakes anymore, Ota. Ota! Come back! Ota!
The Mayumi in the Somnium is plunged into a dark abyss. She's been reminded of so many painful memories all at once. Her husband's insistence that everything would be okay didn't come true, and their hard work ended in Takaro's passing. And for what? It seems that Ota is almost always unfriendly or hostile in these memories, and now she's lost him, just like Takaro. She's overcome with despair.
I am sorry, Ota. Ota! Takaro, I can't do this on my own. Don't leave me!
Aiba believes they've done nothing but put Mayumi through intense trauma in this sing, and questions Date's goals. But he keeps going. He knows the truth. Ota doesn't hate his mother, and he'd never abandon her. And Mayumi knows it too. She just needs reminding. So Date proceeds, and for the first time in the Somnium, he has Aiba turn the clock forwards.
Ota, sweetie!
Mom!
We know we can be a hassle sometimes, so... Ota.
Yeah. Thank you, Mom. You know, I love you. Forever and ever.
Me too, Ota. I love you both so much. I'll love you both no matter what. Oh, forever and ever. Oh, I'll never forget this. Oh.
Yeah, we are a family. We can do anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Looks like it's okay to go back now.
Yes, I agree. By the way, Date. I admit, it is useful every now and then.
What is?
Your intuition.
Following the sink, Mayumi visits her son in hospital after retracting her confession. She thought he may have been guilty since she didn't know the van drove away without him and thought he was driving it the whole time. She apologizes for doubting him and for worrying him, but there are no hard feelings on Ota's end. He also apologizes for worrying her and for never recognizing how hard she's worked for him. Ota promises to support her in the future. He'll keep pursuing his dreams of writing, but in the meantime he'll get a job so that his mother can get the rest that she needs. One loose end that Date inquires about is why Mayumi bought the chocolate, though she's unable to remember, so Date shares his own theory.
She was thinking of nothing but you. Her head was full of memories of you. Mayumi just wanted you to come back, Ota, so she bought that chocolate. The chocolate you loved as a kid. She thought she could get you back home with it. That's why I believe, in Mayumi's head, you're still young, Ota.
Huh?
I don't know. I could be wrong.
No, you're right, Date. That's why my mom bought the chocolate. She wanted her little kid back.
With that, Date shares some good news. Iris has finally woken up following her surgery, and he leaves the two of them together.
Is Iris your girlfriend?
Yeah, I'll introduce you next time. She's a great girl.
Oh my, I'm looking forward to it. Is she going to be your financier? Oh, maybe I should clean up a bit first.
Financer? Oh, fiancé.
Oh, yes, that's it.
Jeez, Mom.
Ota's grown a lot over the events of the past few days. He's gone from abandoning a 12-year-old at the sight of her mother's corpse out of fear to fighting the killer and saving Iris's life. But beneath that, he continues to struggle with the personal growth needed to step up and support his family. His parents' unwavering dedication to him meant he grew up a spoiled child, and as a result he saw them overexerting themselves as normal. It was only when Mayumi confessed to the crime that he finally began to reflect on how he'd taken everything for granted, and that reflection led to his growth. However, it came just a little too late. A combination of the events of the case and Mayumi's condition left her believing that Ota was not only abandoning her, but also could have been responsible for an attempted murder. In spite of everything, she still loved him dearly and was prepared to sacrifice herself for his sake by confessing, so Date had to intervene, reminding her that her son couldn't possibly murder anyone and would never leave her. By clearing up Mayumi's misconceptions, Date is able to reunite Ota with his mother, allowing them to properly reconcile, giving Ota the chance to finally pay her back for all of her support. And while it may be too late for him to repay his father, Takero would surely be proud of him for supporting his mother. As for Date, although they didn't find out anything new about the case in Mayumi's Somnium, he's satisfied with how things turned out and continues his hunt for the killer. At HQ, Aiba presents new information to Date and Boss. Iris was the one who took the kitchen knife from Mayumi, and there's also been a new discovery made in Renju's autopsy results.
More thorough autopsy results of Renju's body have revealed something. An object in his intestines.
An object?
A clump of organic matter. Because it was partially digested, it took significant time to analyze.
Well, what was it?
Shoko Nadami's eyeball.
Both endings leave a lot of questions. Although the Mizuki ending is more conclusive, with the murders being stopped, the reasons behind many details of the case remain unclear. Aiba states that the police came to the conclusion that So simply had a sadistic nature, which is why he removed the victim's eyes. But that doesn't explain why he chose Shoko, Renju, and Iris as his targets. His death in the Ota route throws the conclusion that he's the killer into question, and yet the bloodstain at the warehouse undeniably contains his DNA, and the crime stopped completely after his death. And then there's the fact that the victim seems strangely suspicious, Iris especially. It's still unknown why she was driving Renju's car on the night of his death. What I like about the game is that despite the endings leaving loose ends, they don't feel like simple dead ends that waste your time. Both endings provide satisfying payoffs for the characters involved, and the murders are even ended conclusively in the Mizuki route, even if some questions go unanswered. There's still a lot I've not shown of the game, but I hope that what I've discussed helps get people curious enough about the story to give the games a try themselves. I would highly recommend the series if you're a fan of visual novels, or even if you're new to the genre. I've not played many, but I really enjoyed the series. They've even piqued my curiosity about other visual novels, like the Zero Escape games, made by the same team who made AI. AI The Somnium Files is a great series that has gotten me more interested in a genre I've not paid much attention to in the past, and I think the games are deserving of some more recognition since they're still relatively niche, so go check them out. Oh yeah, I've not even mentioned this side of the game yet.
You think it's true that a tanuki's ball sack can stretch up to 10 square feet?
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Play it.